You can't be a running back with no moves. You got to learn how to stop and start and cut opposite the defender. Meaning, if the defender's coming this way, you got to learn how to stop, start, and cut opposite of the way he's going. I like tough running backs. I love to see running backs lower the shoulders. But when you're in space and you get tackled by one defender, that makes you a lesser running back. You got to learn how to cut and make moves with one defender in space so you can go the distance rather than just having a 15, 20-yard gain. So I got 3 running back cut drills that's going to help you with your moves and with your cutting. All right, make sure when you do these drills, you go full tilt. You don't just do it to where you're comfortable making your cuts. You got to run full speed, because in the game you run the full speed and you're going to have to learn how to stop and start with that full speed pace. So listen, this is the drill. The first drill we got is zigzag, but we flipping the hips. Meaning when we flip the hips is we got the starting point with this cone. We run into this cone on the angle. You cutting, but you flipping your hips all the way. All right, running this cone, cutting, flipping your hips all the way. Get into this cone, flipping your hips, and then we sprint straight out for about 20 yards. The key when we cutting is we got to cut with the opposite foot of the direction that we're going. Meaning, when we're coming here and we got to go left, you got to plant with your right foot to turn your hips opposite. All right, I meant to turn your hips into the direction that we want to get to. So this is what it look like. So the next drill we got is zigzag, but we not flipping the hips all the way. All right, we keeping our hips squared. So what I mean about keeping your hips squared is, as we're running north and south, you got a defender coming back this way. You want to break and plant and cut opposite, but get your hips squared to run north to south again. I know the other drill, we was flipping the hips, but that's just over exaggerating our hips so we can learn in different parts of the trenches where you gotta break a tackle. You might have to flip your hips all the way to that 180. You never know, but we just over exaggerate the movements so that when you have to do something on the field, it makes it a little easier. But this, without flipping the hips, is mainly how you want to make your cuts. So the same path that we had with the last drill, you got it on this with the zigzag. We start cone, we get to the cone, we plant opposite. We plant opposite, we plant, sprint out for 20 yards. Again, like I said, we're keeping our hips square so we can run north and south. Key thing to focus on this drill and the last drill, is to not have short choppy steps to get into this cone so we here. All right, the less steps you take to get from point A to point B, the better it is. So you got to get here. All right, so it'll only take about 2 steps for you to get to that small space. All right, so make sure that we not just having those short choppy steps. And this is what it look like. So the last drill we got is the jump cut drill. What a jump cut is exactly what it sounds like. You make your cut, but you jump. All right. So the key to jumping is, like every other cut, you plant with the opposite foot of the direction that you want to go. So if you want to go left, you're going to break off your right and push back to your left. You still had the same concept where you're breaking off that right, but now you're going to take that left foot to help you jump more off to the left. Because if you got a defender, right now this is my defender right here, a big body, sometimes you got to cut and jump more away from that defender. So again, if we going to the left, we breaking off that right, and then we're using that left foot to jump more out of the frame of the defender. And that's what it looked like. And there you have it, my 3 running back cut drills. We got the zigzag, flipping your hips, the zigzag without flipping your hips, keeping your hips square north and south, and we got the jump cut. Every single cut, no matter which cut you use, you got to make sure you get that athletic position. If you haven't seen my recent videos and you don't understand what the athletic position is, it's your hip hinge with your chest over your knees and toes. So as a running back, get into that athletic position to make your cuts. Got to learn how to snap that hip down. Remember, when you're doing these drills, don't have those short choppy steps. Get from point A to point B and then less steps, have a good stride, stop, play in the opposite direction, and make sure you're exploding into the direction that you're going, because we still got to play football. We still got to avoid the tackle. All right, this drill is not just to do it. It's to get you in that game mode, making sure we're exploding out of our cuts. All right, I hope this helped you. Remember, be better than they say. Until next time, let's get it.